Episode 9, The Principles of Survival. Be resilient. Keep getting up. Be resourceful. Find a way or make one. I'm Paul Estridge, and this is Survive in Advance, a show from the People Forward Network. Let's learn to face life's greatest challenges and move forward together. Through this series, I'd like to share with you principles of surviving, but not just surviving, on how to advance forward, because it's not just getting through something, it's making a better life after the situation. So how do we do that? Here are the principles for survival. Be resilient. Keep getting up. When we talk about being resilient, it's really about just getting back up. Keep marching forward. When you get knocked down, get back up. Keep going. It's different than not quitting. Not quitting is an action. Resiliency is a mindset. When I think of resiliency in my own life, I think of it as an ability that's grown and developed through the experiences that I have faced over and over again, from my youth to my business and health. But I think where it most applies is for the rest of my life. As they told us when we got in the hospital and we were preparing for the transplant, you're trading one disease with a transplant. Most people, and I did too, think that a transplant is a cure. But it's just another disease you're going to have to face. Resiliency is what keeps me going. Resiliency is what keeps me focused on the future. It keeps me thinking about opportunities regardless of what I'm facing today, I might have in the future. One of the good things about resiliency is that it grows as you go through more and more situations. It's like a muscle. When we apply ourselves through resiliency to get through something once, we can call upon it again and apply it in future situations as we face tougher and tougher experiences. Experience develops resiliency, our ability to flex and to keep going and to never quit. And not quitting is something we'll talk about in a future episode. But resiliency is that ability to keep going when there's no end in sight. Be resourceful. Find a way or make one. When we talk about being resourceful and finding a way or making one, that phrase came from my college years, and it was talked about as a means of challenging each other. And it left within us this feeling that we could get through anything. We just had to find that way or make it. The best example was in college. 5 guys in a Jeep Cherokee heading to Arkansas, pulling a U-Haul. And we went through one of those little bumps right before a bridge. Just as we went through one of these bumps, the trailer hitch broke. We got out, looked at it, and we had lost a nut off of a bolt on the trailer hitch. And so our only way through this was to find that nut. So 3 of us started walking back along the path of the groove in the concrete that the trailer hitch had left. When we hear these distant yells from the other 2 guys that were back at the car, telling us to come their direction. While leaning on the guardrail, looking at the bolt, one of the smarter guys in our group thought, I wonder if one of those nuts on the guardrail would be threaded the right way to fit on the bolt of the U-Haul trailer hitch. And lo and behold, it did. And we took off And we made it all the way to Arkansas and back on that bridge bolt that they found that day. It's not a life or death story, but it's one that I always remember when it comes to the principle of find a way or make one. Another way of thinking about being resourceful is tapping into the people that you know, because inevitably they know people, or they know people that know people who can be the exact skill and talent that you need to get through the situation that you're facing. In the mid-2000s, I found myself in a business deal that I didn't know how to get out of. I was in business with a person that I didn't trust and I didn't think could execute on his end of the bargain. So I networked with people that I know, and I asked them, what can I do in this situation? They said, well, you either buy him out or he buys you out. So I hired an investment banker, and we did a fair market value of the company, and we obtained a written commitment from Credit Suisse to take my partner out and to build a casino in Indiana. I presented that one day to my partner, to his great disappointment. He was an authoritarian type, and this whole deal was going to be under his doing. And when I showed him that I had the capacity to do it without him, he was very unhappy, and he wanted to be a part of it. And I said, no, this is without you. Ultimately, over the next month, we went back and forth, and we reached an agreement where he would take me out for $50 million. I have no skill or experience in doing what I just talked about, but I tapped people that I knew who would know people who could come in with the exact experience and apply that to our situation and make lemons into lemonade, a lot of lemonade. As you think about your own life, what are the opportunities for you to become more resourceful, to network with people that you already know, to be able to obtain the necessary skills and experience in order to get through a challenge that you're facing? Whether you're in the middle of a serious challenge or you're about to face one, I leave you with this question. How will you find a way or make one? Thanks for listening to Survive and Advance, a show from the People Forward Network. I'm Paul Estridge, reminding you to keep moving forward and always be grateful. Let's stay connected. Send me an email at surviveandadvance@estridge.net.